So you are now ready to apply for the diversity visa lottery. One of the things, number one, is to see if you are eligible. Is your country eligible to apply for the diversity visa lottery? Why am I saying that way? Because the participation, the eligibility of you being allowed to apply for the diversity visa lottery lies on the country of eligibility, which is the country of birth. Regardless of the current citizenship status. Let me give you an example. Assume you are Kenyan, born in Kenya. Then with life you moved to Canada. You became Canadian by citizenship. Canada is not allowed to apply for the diversity visa lottery. But you are Canadian who was not born in Canada. You are Canadian who was born in Kenya. So you'll be allowed to apply as Kenyan by country of birth, regardless of citizenship. So on the diversity visa application, there will be a question. What is your country of birth? Question number 5, if not mistaken. You'll put country of birth. You'll put a place of birth. Place of birth in Kenya, place of birth wherever. Very few countries are not eligible. And they have been talking about the reason why those countries are not eligible is because they are considered as high admission countries. That means in the last 5 years, those countries, the citizens of those countries have been given green card through either through family, whether it be marriage, family sponsorship through parents, through children sponsoring the parents. So it can be through that way or through work. If the country has over 50,000 people who have been given green card through family or through work sponsorship, that country is eliminated, is removed from the diversity visa lottery in the last 5 years. If that country number goes down, that country is going to be returned back to the application because it's considered now as low admission country. So you have to figure out if your country is eligible, which majority of countries are eligible at the moment. And even those which countries are being considered as high admission will be returned back, because for the last year, from March or April 2020 to March 2021, there are no immigration. There was immigration suspension, meaning people are not given green card at all. So for that particular case, it has affected for number of threshold of 50,000 for those high admission countries. So let's say you are eligible. That's number one. But last week, why am I insisting this one? Because last week I was talking to one person who was born in Kenya, but currently lives in South Africa. The mistake the person did, this is a very good question you have to see. Put your address, put where you live now, and put where you were born. So those are questions which are controversial to some people. You are born in Kenya or you are born in Tanzania. Let's say right now you live in Sudan, or right now you live in Ghana. So if you live in Sudan or live in Ghana, it doesn't mean that you are a citizen or you are born in Ghana. So the question will be, what country? Place and the country of birth. So we put the place of birth, Kisumu, Kenya. That's the place of birth. Then question number 6 is very important. Are you claiming the eligibility based on the country of birth? Question number 6. The answer is yes or no. I'm repeating. Question number 6 of the diversity visa lottery. When you are filling the form, are you claiming the eligibility of the diversity visa based on the country of birth? Your answer is supposed to be yes or no. So, if your country is eligible, automatically you are claiming eligibility based on the country of birth. The only reason you cannot claim the country of birth, assume, let's say you are from country A. Country A is not eligible, and you are married to a citizen of country B. The citizen of country B you are married to, that person, the country is eligible. So you can claim the eligibility based on the country of birth of your spouse. But the person put a mistake when they say, are you claiming the eligibility based on the country of birth? In most of you, the answer is supposed to be yes. If you are born in Kenya, no matter where you are, if you're born in Ghana, no matter where you are, whether you live in the US, whether you live in Canada, whether you live in Afghanistan, whatever country you live, you still apply as Kenyan based on the country of birth, regardless of your citizenship of that particular status. I know that some people are refugees, or they were refugees in Congo, but they are Rwandese. I know so many people from Rwanda and Burundi were born in Tanzania. When you apply for the diversity visa lottery, the country of eligibility is the country of birth, regardless of now. So the person made a mistake. So when they say, are you claiming the eligibility based on the country of birth, the person assumed it is the country where you live now. So put the South Africa saying no and put the country where the person lives. That was the huge mistake, because you have put the country of eligibility. When you win, you are no longer winning as Kenyan, or you are not winning as Ugandan, you are winning from as another country. According to the instructions, when you put the wrong country of eligibility, that's why you have to be very careful. When you ask even the country of birth, your country of birth is Kenya. Below Kenya there is Kiribati. Or the country of birth, let's say the country will be Somalia, then South Sudan, or Somalia, and maybe whatever, South Korea. South Sudan, South Korea. By mistake, you put South Korea instead of South Sudan in your country. If you win, you will be denied the visa. According to the instruction, they can feel sorry for you. They can, maybe it depends, but according to the instruction, putting a wrong of chargeability, putting the wrong country of eligibility is automatically denial of you being given the visa. So you have to make sure that the question number, each question has a very big meaning in the diversity visa lottery. So when you are asked, where were you born? Make sure, apart from the city, you can put a wrong city, that's not a big deal. But the country, you cannot put a wrong country. The city can be different. For instance, I'm giving an example. You were born in Kenya. But in Kenya, you were born in Kibera. But when you go to the birth certificate cannot say Kibera. It will say Nairobi. Or the birth certificate can say you were born in Kibera. It's okay. But when you go to get the passport is not going to put the individual smaller area you are born. It's going to put the bigger city or the bigger town where you are born. So instead of putting Kibera, will say Nairobi. They are not going to put you are born in Buguruni, Dar es Salaam. They will say you are born in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. You see what I mean? They're not going to put the tiny street in Cape Town. They'll put Cape Town. That's where you are born in South Africa. So that is something you need to understand. You can put a wrong city. That will be okay. But remember, the city of birth, regardless where you believe you were born, it has to match with the passport. So go to your passport, and where there is written the place of birth, the city or town, whatever it is, which is written on your passport, is the one you are supposed to put there. For instance, if someone now asks me, where were you born? My answer usually, I was born in Tanzania. I'm not saying I was born in Kigoma particularly, because I'm talking as a country-wise. Because that's my passport says now at the moment. My passport doesn't say, but if you go to the British passport, if you become a British, they will say, your passport will say, I was born in Kigoma. But in America, they put you are born in the country instead of the particular city of where you are born. So that's number one. So make sure you put the correct country, because it's a drop-down menu. Don't rush too quick and you put a wrong country. Putting a wrong country, that means you have to prove you are born in that particular country. And you'll be in so much trouble. You'll be denied, because now the person is working on it. There is a possibility can be given the visa, but by law, by instruction, by the regulation, you are not supposed to be given the green card. And that is the instruction. You have to follow the instruction as they stipulated very clearly. So be careful on selecting the country of birth or place of birth. That is what is going to determine is the number one eligibility for the diversity visa lottery. We are going to talk about education and work experience, but that is one big part, is the part of place of birth.